start. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for showing up today. I really, really appreciate it. I'm super excited about the next couple of days. I have been working for the last month on just really trying to hone in what exactly that I wanted to go over because I personally really, really struggle during the holidays. I have always been a seasonal depression person. It's like as soon as we pass I don't know, the beginning of November usually is when it starts. And I feel like my mental health on top of just the hustle and bustle of the holidays is overwhelming. I am not one of those people that likes to be around other people. Surprise, surprise. Like if I go shopping, like I have the premium membership to Sam's so that I can go shopping at 8 o'clock in the morning so that I don't have to deal with people. And I took my kids to Five Below on Saturday and it was such a madhouse. I was like, okay, I'm not doing this again. I will order everything online. The rest of the stuff I need, I will get from the computer because I'm not going out in public anymore.
Yep, I hear you.
But I do have I don't know what you call it. It's not really a system, but I printed out some worksheets that I will email to y'all that kind of goes over what we're going over today. And then
Okay.
I will try to go ahead and get the tomorrows and Wednesdays out at the same time. That way you have it before. I was just struggling with, I'm trying to put it all on Teachable so that you can access it forever. And Teachable was not cooperating with me yesterday. And this morning I was like, I don't have time to fight with it this morning, but I will get it all up. But I can definitely, it's a PDF, so I can email it to everyone.
Okay.
And basically, the whole gist of this week is adopting some new strategies and practices so that not only can we be more peaceful and have less stress, but that we can feel like we're really succeeding at things. We're really manifesting what we want, really being able to focus on the future instead of having to be stressed out about what's going on right now or worrying about the past. And the way that I have arranged it, I call it a magic morning. Let me see if I can get back up
I'm
here.
sorry.
So, magic morning. Each of the letters are going to stand for something that we're going to do. Now, optimally, we can do it first thing in the morning. And that sounds really overwhelming. Oh my gosh, I have all these things to do first thing in the morning. But they all can take, you can devote 1 minute to it. You could get all of this done in less than 10 minutes and really reset your nervous system, reset your brain, and really be ready to own your own day. Hey, Karen, come on in. You're welcome to unmute. We're all just discussing. Um, so for the magic mornings, um, my question to y'all is what does your morning routine look like? Do you feel like it sets you up for a successful and stress-free day? Raise your hand if you feel like no. Amy says no. No yeses. Okay. So I was reading this book that talked about the practices of like the most successful people, whether that be financially successful or, you know, however you want to look at success. If you look across the board at activities that they participate on a daily basis for self improvement, I took those ideas and kind of tweaked it a little bit with some of the things that I do. And that's where I came up with this magic one. So the M stands for meditation. Meditation is so unbelievably amazing for us. And it's also it's I think it's kind of one of those things that people think, oh, this is so hard and it's so, mystical and strange and I don't know how to do this. But meditation is so much more simple than most people think. It's really just a practice that involves focusing on clearing your mind, not judging what does come into your mind, because of course there's stuff that's going to pop in our brain. It doesn't mean you have to have this perfectly peaceful brain. I absolutely do not have a perfectly peaceful brain. I have a very busy ADHD brain. And so meditating helps me kind of clear out some of those. I won't say voices because that sounds like I have schizophrenia, but you know what I'm talking about. Slows down some of those thoughts. And depending on the type of meditation that you choose, You can meditate to relieve stress. You can meditate to reach a spiritual, not being, but to reach your higher self and to commune with the divine. And some people even use meditation to help improve their health. It does improve sleep. Some people use it to help quit smoking or cigarettes or drinking or anything like that. And so when you go into a meditation and you set kind of what you are going to focus on, that could be, I'm going to focus on finding something else today that is not a cigarette. I'm going to find beauty in this so that I don't want this or whatever. And so while you're doing your meditation, those are some of the things that you can focus on. And I always try to have like something specific, kind of like an intention, like you would set an intention at the new moon. I like to set an intention when I meditate. And sometimes all that is I want joy or I want peace. It does not have to be something complicated, but just like intentions, you can make it anything you want. If you want to meditate on getting a new job, or if you want to meditate on healing your foot, I have a reconstructed foot. I do a lot of healing to my foot because it's a struggle every day. But meditating really helps the body get out of the cortisol response. And I'm just going to say as Americans, because I'd like to believe the rest of the world is not as hooked on cortisol as all of us are. But cortisol is that stress, that fight or flight, that, how am I going to react to this? And you immediately go into like fear. What is it? Clause. I don't remember that. I don't remember the
Fight or flight?
Basically, you you can't you can't reach real peace,
You in
and
my class.
you can't manifest what you want, and you can't really grow when you're living in that state of constant fear and conflict and just stress. And the thing is that our bodies actually get addicted to cortisol. So if you notice people, there are people, and I used to be one of these people that like stress is just their go-to. They wake up and they're stressed out because they can't find a shoe, or they're stressed out because their kid didn't wake up on time. And like they immediately, from the moment they wake up, they are feeding their brain and their pathways stress and boosting that cortisol. And because we have so much of that, like, I mean, back in the day, if you think about it, cortisol is really important because let's say that you were a caveman and you're trying to fight off a bear or something. That's very important to be in fight or flight because you don't want to die. But what's crazy is in nowadays, things as simple as an email or a phone call can trigger that exact same cortisol response. I know that I can look at my phone and see, so I don't know, I don't have any collection agencies, but if I did and I saw that someone was calling over debt, I would immediately go into fight or flight just because they were calling me. And there's just so many things in our daily life that because we're on such a high stress level, like our normal level of stress is so much higher, so that if we can bring it down just a little bit, it's not going to just keep going up and up and up. You're not just going to keep being more and more cortisol, because the opposite of cortisol is serotonin. And serotonin is what we want to make. That's what our bodies are happy with. That's that good feeling, that love, that connection. And cortisol is, I mean, serotonin is the antidote, I guess you could say,
So,
to,
Jamie, sorry to interrupt, but so meditation will like interrupts the cortisol response.
yes,
So,
exactly.
so that's the purpose of doing meditation first thing in the morning.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. It offsets that automatic cortisol response and gets you some serotonin straight off the bat. And actually, I was reading a study about a lady that is in California that she started meditating, and she went to her doctor and got like her serotonin levels. And after a month of meditating for 10 to 15 minutes every day, not her cortisol, I keep saying that, her serotonin levels went up 200%. And that to me is insanity. I love the idea that there's something as simple as something that we can do with our own body and our own minds in our own house on our own time that can cause that much help to our mental health. So it's
Hey,
kind of
Jamie.
a no-brainer to me to tell people to meditate because it's like for me, it's my baseline. If I don't have a few minutes in the morning, I have an office that's detached from our house. So I like to go out there and I will get my 5 minutes, my 10 minutes, however much I can get in the morning with nobody talking to me. I'm just in there with my plants and my crystals and my skulls and bones and stuff. And that way I can really focus on the piece that I'm about to put into my life. And as we go through the rest of the letters, they start all tying together. But the next one for magic, the A is affirmations, and you can work affirmations into your meditation also, because that way it's kind of like your intention, but more solidified with an affirmation.
Hey,
Jamie.
Jamie, I got a
Oops.
question.
Okay.
Um, me, Amy. So you were saying about this person who had their serotonin levels checked.
Yes.
How in
Yes.
the hell do you do that? Because
I don't know. I
I'm
want to ask my doctor myself. I'm really curious because I would love to find out if because I'm getting blood work right now for my diabetes. And so they're doing it anyway. So I'm like, hey, can you throw that on there and let me know? I don't know if my insurance will pay for it, but I would love to know because I love data. I'm all about the science part of everything. And so for someone to say, okay, it was this number and it went to this number, I don't even know what those numbers are supposed to be. It was literally just a thing that I was reading that was talking about serotonin and boosting it and all that. But
do you have a link of that article?
I will find it. I'll find it and email it to you because it was
Wonderful,
from this
thanks.
lady called Kathy Heller, and she's amazing. She's really cool. But it just really blew my mind that you could boost it that much in such a short amount of time.
Jamie.
Yes.
It's Sonoma. So it was funny this morning. I got up and I always have told myself I don't like mornings. I hate mornings. And I'm staying in the big house. And I came in to start coffee, and Bob asked me, "Are you okay? You look a little stressed this morning." Because I hadn't done my meditation or my shower or anything like
Right.
that. So it's like, oh, great. So it really does show.
Well, it was funny is I honestly think that our spouses and our family, they once you get into a habit of having that morning piece, they know when you didn't do it.
Right?
My husband, if I wake up late, in fact, I woke up late this morning and it was actually a very smooth morning. But typically, if we're not on the time schedule that I am used to, I get very stressed and very because I have to get the kids out the door. It's just what we have to do. We have to get ready. We have to get dressed. And kids, you know how kids are. Some days they're
Mhm.
ready in 2 minutes, and some days it takes 45 minutes for them to find a shoe. So whenever I hit the morning without that meditation, I usually turn into screaming mom. And I hate being screaming mom. So that's another thing that no, it's not like a physical scientific you can measure thing, but how you treat the people around you really can change when you just spend a few minutes telling yourself how you're going to feel today. Choose one of the things that we're going to talk about when we talk about the affirmations tomorrow is that you can choose how you're going to feel for the day, just like you can choose what you're going to wear. You just have to basically talk yourself into it. And I talk yourself into it. Sounds like you're trying to trick yourself. But when you wake up and you do a meditation and you're like, today is going to be, a good day. I'm going to feel growth and abundance. Whatever it is that you're wanting to feel. Sometimes, like I said, for me, I just want to be a wife and a mom that isn't screaming and wanting to throw things. I tend to overreact like if they didn't get something done or if they spilled something. And I've really been over the last couple of years focusing on being able to take a deep breath, be like, okay, this is not that big a deal. I can clean this up. They can clean this up, whatever it is, handle it. I was not capable of doing that before I started meditating and doing affirmations. I I just went into fight mode basically all the time. And since I started meditating, I don't do that. My brain, it's like you have to retrain your neural pathways. So whatever neural pathways you're using are the ones that it's going to go to first. So if you're used to waking up and being stressed out about what's going to happen, then that's exactly what's going to happen. So you have to retrain your brain to come over here and focus on, I'm going to be, full of joy today. I'm going to focus on how I see joy in everything today. Every little thing, the tree that brings me joy, the car that I saw that brought me joy, whatever it is, I'm looking for joy today. And then you will find those things. Same with, like, say you wanted gratitude. I do a gratitude practice every morning, which is part of the journaling, which is the I. It is inspired writing, is what the I stands for. But we'll talk about journaling on Wednesday, and maybe tomorrow Wednesday. I don't know. But
Okay, can I pop in, James?
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, my thing is I have to be at work at 7. So I have to get up before the sun. So I
Right.
don't give my I give myself 20 minutes. I get up, I do everything that I did before. I get up, brush my teeth, take my pills, put my clothes on, and leave. That's pretty much my morning.
Right.
Plus, I have to take care of animals, so that's another 10 minutes.
Right.
So I just never really. I just started when my feet hit the floor, just trying to say, okay, ground myself a little bit, stretch and go. That's about all I can do in the morning. But my question is, I am extremely ADHD. Can't keep my mind. I cannot meditate. I don't know how you do it. I've been trying. I can listen to other people do guided meditations, but I don't know how you quiet your mind. I don't know how to like write my own. I guess I'm not creative enough to write my own affirmations or whatever. So if someone gives me something, or if I listen to something, it's fine. But how do you? Because you said you're ADHD too. How do you just set your brain off like that?
Okay, one of the things, and this is something I stress to everyone, everyone thinks meditation is sitting and oming and all that. To me, you can meditate doing anything. I will
Knitting.
walk. I call it a walking meditation. That is how I do most of my meditating, is on a walk. And when I first started, I would listen to guided meditations like on YouTube. I really like Jason Stevenson. I don't know why. He just has a very pleasant voice and I really like his stuff. So he's someone that I have used a lot. And I will just pop in the earbuds or put on my headphones and go for a walk and do that. Now, after I started doing the guided for a while, then I just switched to listening to just kind of woo music. So I have something going in the background because I'm not going to lie, complete silence is a struggle for me. It's like it amps up everything that's in my brain. But if I have some music or something like that, is I don't know if it like pulls part of it to the side or something. I'm really not sure neurologically what's going on. But I know that if I have a guided meditation or I have music that I'm listening to, that it helps me kind of quiet all of that stuff that's going on in the head. And I think what else? I've got so many notes. I could probably go on for an hour, but I'm trying to figure out what else. What else to talk about next? One of the things that I was writing about, this may not affect y'all, and I hope this doesn't offend y'all, but I live in a state where this is legal. And so I do a lot of psychedelic integration work with people and using just plant medicine. I specifically only use psilocybin. There's a lot of other things that you can use, but that is what I use. And the studies with psilocybin show that it produces a lot of serotonin, which is what we were talking about earlier about what, we want more serotonin and less cortisol. But what it does is that boost of serotonin is what makes you feel kind of that presence of God, that connection to the universe, that feeling of oneness, that it's an artificial way to get there, but it's the exact same process as when you meditate. So Do you have to take mushrooms? No, not at all whatsoever. You can still get to the same place. But mushrooms definitely get you that boost of that just rush of serotonin that makes you feel so alive and present and full of love. And so when we can get serotonin in other ways, it's still doing the same thing. It's not quite as concentrated, I guess is the best way to look at it. But when we do meditate, we all are kind of looking for expansion of consciousness, kind of understanding more about ourselves, more about our universe. And one of the things that I think we all kind of forget sometimes is that we are swimming in a huge ocean of possibilities every single day. And I know that it's really easy to get into the habit of, you know, this is my life and I have to do this job and I have, we get down on all of the things that we are experiencing because we're not focusing on the fact that what we want is really out there. We just have to focus our energy on that because what we focus our energy on is what we make our thoughts, and what we make our thoughts is what we make our reality. And so if we are thinking in a bigger scale and a more open, here is my heart, spirit, lead me and show me what I need to do today is kind of one of the things that I do in the morning because the potential for whatever we want is there. It's kind of like think about old school radio. I'm glad y'all all know what radios are because I was talking to some kids the other day and they were like, huh? I was like, okay, I got to come up with a different metaphor than radio. But if I have a radio here and I don't have it turned on, there's no music, but we know it's there. We're just not tuned into it. So when you turn it on and you tune in to your music, to your station, to your vibration, then that's what's important. And it's important to know that it's there waiting for us, whatever it is that we want. If we're wanting more peace, if we're wanting more money, if we're wanting whatever, it is there. It is out in the universe. It is infinite. Our universe is infinite forever and ever. And if you think about nature grows, survives, thrives. It does not compete with each other. It does not compete with itself. A tree doesn't wake up and be like, man, my leaves are really wilted today. It's just not how it works. So we have to remember that the universe is on our side. And, oops, the universe wants us to succeed. The universe wants us to be abundant. We are the ones that stop that flow. So when we can meditate and get into that flow, you'll notice that slowly all of the stuff just starts pouring out into your life. The other thing I'm going to go over really quick before we run out of time is the 4 parts of meditating. And I have this on the worksheet. So if you end up downloading that, it has a place to write about it. So I put each of the 4 and then I left spaces that you can kind of fill in whatever you want to. But the first thing that's important when you start to meditate is to relax. You cannot go into a state of meditation worrying about everything else, and you just have to get in your body, relax. I like to do body scans. That's one of my favorite things to do, where you just, you really go through and you feel your body. What hurts? What doesn't hurt? What's touching the ground? What does the air feel like on my skin? Because when you get into your body, you can start letting go of everything else that's around you. So relax and be present is the first step. The second step is returning to yourself. And what I mean by that is your higher self. We all have a divine spirit inside of us. And we're all, hey, Kennedy, welcome. That's my stepdaughter. I haven't seen her in ages. I love you, Kennedy. um, but when you return to yourself and you connect to that divine higher self, you're going to be able to start channeling all of that stuff, all of those music, all that sound that we said that we need to tune into. Once you start returning to yourself and really getting in touch with your higher self, it makes it a lot easier to, which is the next step, to receive these things that we're wanting, that we're needing, that we are seeking. And when we connect and receive, we want to visualize. A lot of times I like to visualize things in the future. Like say I have like this Saturday, I have a sale coming up where I'm going to sell like witchy stuff. And I haven't done a sale in a while, but it was for my kids' school and it benefits their gifted and talented program. And I was like, this is a no-brainer. Yes, I'll sell stuff, no problem. But I'm not really ready for it. And so I'm not, what I did the other day was I sat and I concentrated and I meditated and I visualized setting up my stuff, lots of customers being there, selling lots of things. So when you think that and you concentrate on that, you put that into motion. So instead of sitting here and being like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to make signs. I need to make price tags. I'm not doing that at all. I am just visualizing success and taking small steps this week to make sure that it is successful. So when you receive, you want to open up to whatever it is that the universe has to give you. So open your heart and really concentrate on letting creative flow, just that flow of the universe it's really there for you. It's there for all of us. And it's just when we slow down and tap into it is when we can start reaping the benefits. And then the last part of the 4 R's of meditating is release. So at the end, I like to kind of like release what doesn't serve me or focus a little bit on what I don't want. Like, I don't want to be stressed. So, I'm going to leave the feelings of fear behind and I'm going to embrace confidence and knowing. So you can make a statement that just says that, I don't want this, I do want this. But I think it's really good at the end of connecting with spirit and opening up to the divine to recognize this is what I need to move away from, and this is what I need to move towards. So that is how I do meditations. Now, like I said, there's tons and tons of ways to do meditations. I just like those specific steps. Let me have another one. This article that I can also share with you, it's from the Cleveland Clinic. It's talking about different types of meditation. Like we were talking about, you don't have to just sit there and be still. And I thought this one was really cool because it had body-centered meditation. That's called self-scanning. We talked about that. It does involve focusing on physical sensations that you can feel throughout your body. There's contemplation meditation that usually involves concentrating on a question or some kind of contradiction without letting your mind wander. There's emotion-centered meditation. It has you focus on a specific emotion. Like I was talking about how I want to feel joy. That's something, just focusing on one emotion. There's mantra meditation, which I absolutely love mantras. I like to sing, I like to dance, and I love to throw on a mantra that I can do it with. I don't usually do it on my own, but I will do it with someone else. And now, if I had a whole group of people live to do it, that would be fantastic. But the best I do is people on YouTube usually or on Spotify. But you focus on repeating the same phrase over and over again. So like I use my mala, it has 108 beads. I start at one. And as I say the mantra, I twist it and go to the next one. And so that I know when I'm done that I've done all 108 of them. So this is one of my tools when I do mantra meditation. The next one is meditation with movement. And that's could be walking meditation, it could be dancing, it could just be like, kind of random what feels good to your body, somatic movement. A lot of times I have a hip problem and I do yoga for it, but sometimes I just move my body like I don't know how to explain it. It's not aerobic in any way, and it certainly doesn't look like yoga, but helps me connect with what's going on in my body and how I can move my body to help relieve that pain. And so you can bring that in, like they was talking about healing health problems or quitting things. That's something else that you can integrate into the meditation. And if you're moving, then, like I said, for people that have really fast moving brains, moving to me takes a little bit of that away so that I can focus on what I'm trying to focus on. The next one is mindfulness meditation, and that one is about staying aware of what's happening in a moment rather than letting your mind wander and worrying about the past or future. Can also involve a similar approach as body-centered meditation, about what you feel through your body as a foundation to your awareness around you. So I like to do mindfulness meditation, especially in nature, because it's really easy to find things to focus on in the moment for me in nature. So I will go for a walk down to our little creek. It's about, I don't know, 10 blocks away probably. And I will sit and I will watch the water and I will watch, sometimes there's crawfish, sometimes there's all the kinds of different wildlife. And being in nature makes it so much easier for me to focus on the present, because at that moment, no one's asking me for a drink of water. Nobody's asking me where their shoes are. No one's bothering me for anything. And I'm at a place where there isn't anyone that can bother me because they didn't follow me there. But to me, one of the best ways to get in that mindful mode is nature. And the more I've practiced doing it in nature, the easier it is to do when I'm in the middle of Target and I'm stressed out because my kid's throwing a fit because I won't buy them what they want. So it's like you can take that meditation that you're doing in the morning and those same skills will start leaking into your life. And you'll be like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, this is awesome. And I've been doing this, I don't know, I would say this is probably year 3 of like consciously deciding to do meditations. And it has improved every aspect of my life. It has improved my physical health. It's definitely improved my mental health. It's made me a better mom and a better spouse. And when I started it, I did not expect all of that at all. I really just was trying to find God. Honestly, I was trying to